Most people think you need millions of followers to make any real money online. But here's the thing. There's this small group of operators, and they're quietly making sometimes even $20,000 a month. And they're doing it by tapping into audiences that, well, they already exist. So tonight, I want to show you exactly how it all works. Right? This is the story we've all been told. It feels like everyone online is chasing the exact same thing: millions of followers, massive influence, trying to go viral. That's the standard playbook, right? But what if that playbook is missing its most interesting chapter? Because here's the reality. While everyone is looking up at the celebrity influencers, this other group is operating in the shadows, building serious income without ever needing the spotlight. And the really weird part, most creators, they don't even realize it's happening. So how in the world are they doing it? Well, before we dive into the method, you need to understand one single rule that governs almost every successful business on the planet. Because once you see this rule, I'm telling you, you'll start noticing this opportunity absolutely everywhere.
It all comes down to what I call the hungry crowd rule. Let me show you what I mean with a really simple analogy.
Okay, so imagine two restaurants right on the same street. The first one, it's got a beautiful interior, incredibly talented chefs, perfect service, everything is impressive. But the dining room is totally empty. Now look at the second restaurant. The food is, honestly, it's pretty average, nothing special. But outside, there's a line of people wrapping all the way around the block. Which one wins? It's the one with the line, every single time. Because when people are already hungry, everything just gets easier. Sales get easier, marketing gets easier, heck, even your mistakes get forgiven. The smartest entrepreneurs figured this out a long time ago. They don't chase products, they chase hungry crowds. And right now, the internet is absolutely full of these hungry crowds, but they're not where most people are looking. The real opportunity isn't at the top with the mega influencers, it's actually hiding right there in the middle. We're talking about micro creators. People with maybe 20, 30, or 50,000 followers. They aren't celebrities, they don't have agents, and most of us just scroll right past them. But something really interesting happens at this level. The relationship with their audience still feels personal, and that builds something incredibly valuable. And that valuable thing is trust. I mean, think about it. Companies spend billions on advertising just trying to manufacture trust. But micro creators, they already have it, and they built it organically. But this is where we run into a major problem. So, if they have this incredibly valuable asset, why do so many of them struggle financially? A couple of years ago, I saw this firsthand with a fitness creator. He had about 28,000 followers. Every day, he'd post these workout clips, and thousands of people would watch, comment, and share. You could just tell his audience trusted him. But financially, he was barely making anything, just a few small sponsorships. The answer is actually pretty simple. Because building an audience and then actually making money from it, those are two completely different skills. Creators are experts in content, but monetization, that's a whole different profession. And that gap, that's where our opportunity appears. This brings us to a role on the internet that most people have never even heard of. They call it the shadow operator. So, what exactly is a shadow operator? Well, it's someone who doesn't chase followers. Instead, they partner with a creator who already has them. They stay behind the scenes, help the creator build and launch a product, and then they split the revenue. Simple as that. And this is the key difference. The operator isn't grinding out daily content or performing for algorithms or trying to build a personal brand. Their entire focus is on just three things: systems, leverage, and partnerships. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great, but it also sounds complicated. And you know what? Until pretty recently, you would have been right. This model was extremely difficult to pull off just a few years ago. I mean, just 5 years ago, launching a digital product required a whole team. Copywriters, designers, developers. It was slow, it was expensive. But today, AI has replaced most of that infrastructure. One focused person can now outline an entire course, write a sales page, and generate all the marketing assets in just a few hours. What used to require a whole company can now be done by a single operator, which is what makes this so accessible all of a sudden. Okay, let's break down the math, because this is where it all really starts to click. So let's start with a typical micro creator. Let's say they have 30,000 followers. You partner with them, and you decide to launch a $100 digital product. Now, let's be super conservative here. Let's just assume that only 1% of that loyal audience decides to buy. That doesn't sound like a lot, right? Just 1%. But that 1% is 300 customers.
And 300 customers buying a $100 product, well, that's $30,000 in revenue from a single launch. That's a pretty significant number.
Okay, so now let's look at the revenue split. Let's say the creator keeps 70%, and you, the operator, you take 30%. Your portion, $9,000. From one partnership, one launch. And here's the key question. If a creator makes $21,000 from something you built together, do you think they'll ever stop promoting it? Of course not.
So this all leads to a final and really crucial mindset shift. When you look at making money online, there are really two paths you can choose.
You can be the performer, the one chasing attention and living in the spotlight, or you can be the operator, the one building systems around attention, living behind the curtain. Most people want the spotlight, but the real leverage, the real power often lives behind the curtain. Somewhere right now, there's a creator posting another video. Their audience is watching, and they're learning, and they're trusting. They have the hungry crowd, but the monetization system is missing. The opportunity is absolutely massive, and it's just waiting there for someone to build that system. The only question is, who's it going to be?